Have you ever stepped out of bed in the morning, placed your feet on the floor, and paused, just for a moment because your legs didn't feel steady? If that's happened to you, you're not alone. Many older adults begin to notice their balance isn't what it used to be. Walking feels slower, stairs seem steeper, and getting up from a chair takes more effort. Most people brush it off. Well, I'm just getting older. But let me tell you something I've learned after more than 60 years as a doctor. I'm Dr. Robert Peterson, and at 92 years old, I've cared for thousands of patients across the country, many from right here in California. And the truth is this: weak legs aren't always about aging, they're often your body's quiet cry for help. What kind of help? Nutritional help. And I don't mean fancy supplements or trendy diets. I'm talking about three key vitamins that are essential to keeping your muscles strong and your nerves firing properly. Here's a number that might surprise you. In just 2 weeks without the right vitamins, your leg muscles can lose up to 10% of their strength. And for many people, that strength may never fully come back. That's not a small number. That's the difference between walking confidently and holding on to the wall for support. And here's the part most folks never hear: this loss is preventable. You see, your body hasn't given up on you. It's simply missing what it needs to keep going. And once you start feeding it the right nutrients, consistently and in simple ways, you might be amazed at how quickly it responds. Today, I'll share with you the three vital vitamins that have helped hundreds of my patients, not just in hospitals, but right at home, regain strength, stability, and peace of mind. And to show you how real this is, I want to start by telling you the story of Evelyn. Evelyn is 78 years old. When she first came to me, she was terrified of walking down her own stairs. But just a few weeks later, she returned with steady steps and a smile that said it all. Let me tell you what changed for her, because it might just change something for you too. Evelyn was 78 when she first walked into my clinic. Well, I should say, was helped in. Her son was holding her arm tightly. Each step looked like a struggle. Her legs trembled beneath her, and I could see the fear in her eyes. Not fear of pain, fear of falling, fear of losing herself. She sat down slowly, exhaled, and looked at me with quiet frustration. "Doctor," she said, her voice barely steady, "I eat like I always have. I try to move around the house, but I'm getting weaker. I don't understand why." Her son, sitting beside her, added with a worried look, "My mom used to be strong, but after Dad passed, she hardly left the house. It's like her body started shutting down." And then came the sentence I've heard more times than I can count: "Maybe this is just part of getting old." But I looked at Evelyn and gently said, "No, it's not. Aging doesn't mean giving up strength. Your legs are telling us something. They're missing what they need." We went over her diet: mostly toast and cheese, little to no vegetables, no milk, and she'd been skipping breakfast for months. I told her the truth. Almost half of older adults are lacking at least one of three essential vitamins that directly impact muscle strength and nerve health. And when you're low on all three, it's like trying to walk on legs that aren't getting the signal. She looked down, embarrassed. "What can I do now?" she asked quietly. I smiled and said, "You don't need to overhaul your life. Just take small steps, one at a time. Let's give your body a chance to rebuild." A few weeks later, Evelyn came back for a checkup. But this time, she didn't need her son's arm. She walked in on her own. No cane, no fear. And I'll never forget what she said as she sat down. "I didn't think a few simple changes could make such a difference, but I feel like me again." Evelyn's story is not rare. It happens more often than you think. And the truth is, you might be closer to recovery than you realize. In the next part, I'll walk you through the 4 warning signs your body gives you when it's lacking the nutrients your legs need, and how to catch them early before they take away your strength. Sometimes your body speaks in whispers before it shouts. And if you listen closely, your legs might be trying to tell you something long before things get serious. These aren't just normal signs of aging. They're early warning lights, signals that your muscles and nerves aren't getting the support they need. Let's walk through the 4 most common ones. Sign number 1: weakness and wobbliness. When standing up, do your legs feel shaky when you stand up from a chair? Ever feel like your calves can't hold your weight? Like you need to grab onto a table or wall just to balance? I've had patients tell me, Doctor, I just want to get a glass of water, but it feels like my legs aren't mine anymore. This isn't just muscle loss. It's what happens when your nerves and muscles aren't communicating well, often due to long-term vitamin B12 and D deficiencies. Even if you eat regular meals, these vitamins may not be absorbed properly after age 60. That's why the legs grow weak, even when everything else seems normal. Sign number 2. Tingling, numbness, or strange sensations in the legs. Do you ever feel a crawling sensation, like tiny ants moving under your skin? Do your feet or calves go numb when you sit for too long? Have you felt a strange warmth in your legs, even when they're cold to the touch? These are often early signs of nerve damage, specifically from a lack of vitamin B12. Your nerves are like electrical wires. B12 provides the insulation, called myelin, that keeps those signals strong and fast. When you don't get enough, the insulation wears thin, and your body starts to misfire. Sign number 3. Nighttime leg cramps that wake you up. Have you ever been sleeping peacefully and suddenly shot out of bed from a sharp cramp in your leg? Do your muscles feel sore the next morning, like you ran a marathon? This is a red flag for magnesium and vitamin D deficiency. Magnesium helps your muscles contract and relax properly. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption. Without the right balance, your legs become more likely to cramp and twitch, especially at night. Sign number 4. Low energy and loss of interest in moving. Do you get tired just walking to the mailbox? Have hobbies like gardening or even grocery shopping started to feel like too much? When your muscles aren't nourished, they fatigue faster, even with the smallest tasks. Low vitamin D is often to blame here. It affects your energy, your bones, and even your mood. If more than one of these signs feels familiar to you or someone you care about, please don't ignore it. It's not your fault. And it's not about getting old. It's your body asking, quietly and kindly, for some help. In the next part, I'll explain exactly which vitamins matter most, why they're so often missing in older adults, even with a good diet, and how to start getting them back without complicated supplements or expensive routines. Just small steps. And they really do work. If your legs feel weak, stiff, or unpredictable, chances are you're missing more than just rest or stretching. You might be missing what I call the vital trio, the 3 most important vitamins that keep your nerves sharp and your muscles steady. Let's break them down one by one. 1. Vitamin B12, the nerve protector. Think of your nerves like electric wires. When you're young, they're coated in a thick, strong layer, just like new wires wrapped in plastic. That coating is called myelin. Vitamin B12 helps build and protect that layer. But after age 60, your stomach naturally makes less acid, and that makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. Even if you eat meat or eggs, your body might not be getting what it needs. When that coating thins out, the signal from your brain to your muscles weakens. That's when you start to feel things like legs shaking when standing, poor balance, numbness in feet. I've had patients tell me, I just want to pour a cup of coffee, but my legs wobble like they're not mine anymore. B12 is often the missing link. 2. Vitamin D, the muscle and bone stabilizer. Back in the day, all we had to do was spend time outside, and our skin would make plenty of vitamin D from sunlight. But as we age, that ability fades. We spend more time indoors, and our skin becomes less efficient. The result? Weak muscles, brittle bones, slow recovery after small injuries, increased risk of falls. Vitamin D is like the locksmith that helps calcium enter your bones and muscles. Without it, even your strongest efforts, exercise, diet, movement, don't land where they should. When my patients start getting more natural sunlight and a few servings of vitamin D-rich foods, it's like flipping a switch. Their posture improves, their steps become lighter, and they tell me they feel more grounded. 3. Magnesium, the silent hero. Magnesium rarely gets the spotlight, but it should. It's the coordinator behind every muscle contraction and release. It's what allows your legs to bend, straighten, and support your weight without cramping up. When you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles go off rhythm. That's why people wake up in the night with stabbing leg cramps, even after an easy day. Magnesium also supports heart rhythm, brain function, and energy levels. What's tricky is that many common medications, including antacids, water pills, and diabetes drugs, quietly drain magnesium over time. You won't notice it, until the symptoms show up. Why are these vitamins missing in so many older adults? It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your body is simply not absorbing or holding onto nutrients like it used to. Here's what makes it worse: skipping meals or eating the same limited foods every day. Low stomach acid, common after 60. Medications that interfere with absorption. Less time outdoors, forgetting to eat breakfast. The good news? Your body still knows how to heal. Even at 70, 80, or 90, once it gets the right support, it responds. You don't need a cabinet full of pills or a complicated plan. Just a few simple shifts in food and sunlight can unlock strength that's still waiting inside you. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how my patients restored strength in their legs from their own kitchen without relying on expensive supplements or treatments. Michael was 82 when I first met him. He was a retired mechanic, hands still rough, voice still strong, but his body was tired. He could barely walk 5 minutes without sitting down. His nights were worse. Cramps would hit him like lightning, forcing him to curl up on the edge of his bed, sweating and clenching his fists in silence. "I thought I was done," he told me one morning. "I thought I'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I didn't want to be a burden to my kids." He wasn't angry. He was just tired of trying, of hurting, of hoping. When I looked at his diet, his routine, and his medications, it became clear his body wasn't giving up. It was just starving, quietly, for the vital trio. He hadn't spent time in the sun for years. His meals were simple but lacked the vitamins his body needed. And some of the pills he'd been taking for blood pressure and digestion had slowly drained away his magnesium and B12 without anyone noticing. So we made a plan. Not a strict one. Not something that required money or complicated supplements. Just 3 tiny shifts. Every morning, Michael sat outside on his porch for 10 minutes, letting the soft sun hit his arms and face. No phone, no pressure. Just stillness and sunlight. At lunch, he added 1 small piece of salmon or a boiled egg. At night, before bed, he ate half a banana and a small handful of almonds. That's it. No pills, no dramatic routines. The first week, nothing changed. The second week, the cramps started to fade. By the third week, Michael called me and said, "Doctor, I slept through the night. First time in years." A few weeks later, he showed up at my clinic. He walked in, by himself. No cane, no support, no fear. He smiled as he sat down, deep lines around his eyes, but his gaze was full of pride. "It wasn't a miracle," he said. "It was just the right steps, finally." Michael's story isn't rare. I've seen it happen with so many of my patients. Once the body gets the nutrition it's been missing, something incredible happens. Nerves wake up, muscles rebuild, confidence returns, and most importantly, people start to believe in themselves again. In the next part, I'll share the 5 golden principles that helped Michael, Evelyn, and countless others reclaim strong, steady legs. Principles you can start using today, right from your own home. You've heard the stories. You've seen what's possible. But now comes the part that matters most. How can you start? What simple things can you do right now to rebuild your strength, protect your balance, and move with confidence again? These 5 golden principles have helped so many of my patients regain the power in their legs without special diets, expensive treatments, or daily pills. Let's walk through them together. 1. Never skip breakfast. And don't rush it. Your first meal of the day isn't just fuel. It's the foundation. Skipping breakfast or grabbing only coffee and toast leaves your muscles empty, and over time, they begin to fade. Instead, start your day with something simple but powerful. 1 boiled egg, a small bowl of plain yogurt, a slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter, a few spinach leaves, or a handful of berries on the side. These small choices give your body vitamin B12 and protein, exactly what your nerves and muscles need to wake up strong. That too, get 10 minutes of morning sunlight every day. I know life gets busy, and some days you just want to stay indoors, but even 10 minutes of gentle sunlight before 9 a.m. can make a world of difference. Just step outside, let the light touch your arms and face, and breathe. That sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D naturally. No pills required. Vitamin D keeps your bones solid and your muscles from weakening. It's free medicine right outside your front door. 3. Eat 1 serving of eggs or fish daily. You don't need fancy meals. Just 1 small portion of something rich in vitamin D and B12, a boiled egg, a slice of salmon, a few sardines, even canned mackerel or fortified plant-based milk if you don't eat animal foods. Make it part of lunch or dinner. Keep it simple. Keep it steady. Tar 4. Add magnesium-rich foods in the afternoon or evening. If you get leg cramps at night, your body might be low on magnesium. You don't need supplements. Nature has you covered. A handful of pumpkin seeds or almonds, cooked spinach or chard at dinner, half a banana before bed. These small foods calm your muscles and help you sleep better, move better, and wake up without pain. 5. Don't wait until you can't walk to take action. This is the one most people forget. They wait. They think, I'll do something when it gets worse. Or, it's probably just old age. But the truth is, the sooner you start, even with just one step, the faster your body responds. Michael and Evelyn didn't get better because they were lucky. They got better because they started small and kept going. These 5 principles aren't complicated. They don't require money, willpower, or youth. They only require a choice. In the next part, I'll help you make that choice even easier. With one simple daily reminder, you can say to yourself to keep going, even on the hard days. Because no matter your age, you're still capable of strength, growth, and joy. If you've made it this far, I want you to take a breath. Maybe you're sitting in your favorite chair right now. Maybe your legs still feel tired. Maybe you're carrying a quiet doubt that whispers, is it too late for me? Let me tell you something, gently, but clearly. No, it is not too late. Your body hasn't given up. It's just been waiting for you to listen, for you to care, for you to believe again. I've seen this with my own eyes, again and again. Men and women who once thought they had no hope left. And then something changed. Not overnight, not through magic, but through small, consistent steps. They started eating breakfast again. They stood in the sun for a few quiet minutes. They added simple foods back into their meals. They believed just enough to try. And their legs listened. Their legs began to hold them steady again. Their hands stopped trembling when they reached for a glass of water. They walked a little farther. They smiled a little more. So today I want to give you one sentence. Just one. Say it out loud if you can. Whisper it if you must. But say it and mean it. I am not helpless. Every day I will do one small thing to help my body heal. That's it. That one sentence is enough to begin. Say it when you wake up. Say it before bed. Say it when your legs feel weak or your mind feels tired. Let it remind you that healing is not about being perfect. It's about being present and choosing again and again not to give up, because your strength is not gone. It's only been waiting for your signal. Before we end, if this message spoke to you, even just a little, I invite you to do 3 simple things. Click subscribe so I can keep sharing real stories and simple advice with you each week. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're struggling with. I read every message and I'll do my best to reply. Share this video. If you have a parent, friend, or neighbor who's afraid of falling or feeling stuck, send this to them. You might just change their story too. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. I'm Dr. Robert Peterson, and I believe that no matter your age, it's never too late to take your next strong step forward. I wish you peace, steady feet, and a hopeful heart.